Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers, Snacks30_Casanova. Thanks for the suggestion, Snacks. You asked, what is the difference between donkeys and mules? Ah, yes, two animals that get lumped together in everything from old-timey cartoons to jokes about carrying luggage. But trust us, one of them is the OG, and the other is a genetic remix. Today, we're breaking down the long ears, hoofed hoaxes, and the weirdest family tree in the animal kingdom, right here on Explaining Everything. Let's start with the donkey, the real MVP of ancient transportation. Donkeys are a species all their own, officially known as Equus asinus. They've been around for thousands of years, originally domesticated from wild African asses. They're strong, sure-footed, and built for endurance, not speed, like a hiker with steel calves and zero interest in your drama. Donkeys have shorter, thicker builds, super tough hooves, and an attitude that says, "I'll do it, but only if I feel like it." They're also not horses, despite the whole four legs and tail situation. Their bone structure, temperament, and even vocal cords are different, hence the famous hee-haw. If horses are the Ferraris of the stable, donkeys are the reliable old pickup truck that just won't quit, ever. Plus, they can survive on lower quality food and less water than horses, which makes them desert royalty. So yes, they may be underestimated, but donkeys have grit, brains, and the emotional range of a retired war general. Now, enter the mule. Part horse, part donkey, all business. A mule is a hybrid, the offspring of a male donkey called a jack and a female horse called a mare. It's nature's version of a crossover SUV. Mules get the strength and size from their horse moms and the endurance and smarts from their donkey dads. The best of both worlds with a slight side of sass. They're usually larger than donkeys, but more compact and hardy than horses. And bonus, they rarely spook, which makes them ideal for carrying people, gear, and sometimes your emotional baggage. They don't neigh like horses or hee-haw like donkeys. They make this weird hybrid sound that says, "I'm complicated, okay?" But here's the twist. Mules are almost always sterile. They can't reproduce because their chromosomes don't match up properly. They're like nature's limited edition. You don't get more by breeding two mules. You have to keep making new ones from scratch. In rare cases, female mules called mollies have given birth, but it's about as likely as a unicorn winning the lottery. Their strength-to-size ratio is so impressive, it's like nature handed them a cheat code. Now for the important part. If you met them at a party, who would be more chill? Donkeys are cautious and kind of introverted. They're smart and skeptical, which some people call stubborn. But really, they just don't want to fall off a cliff. That's a feature, not a bug. Mules, on the other hand, are calm, collected, and less dramatic than horses. They have an even temperament, great memory, and won't panic if a plastic bag flies by. Unlike some horses we know. People love working with mules because they're loyal and level-headed, like a muscular therapist. Donkeys can be more independent, while mules often bond with their handlers and remember them for life. A donkey will stop and think. A mule will stop, think, then file a report and get back to work. And while donkeys prefer to avoid nonsense, mules will quietly judge your life choices as they carry your camping gear up a mountain. Both animals are champions of hard work, but their jobs differ. Donkeys are perfect for rugged environments and tight trails. They are used around the world for carrying loads, guarding livestock, yes, really, coyotes beware, and occasionally starring in biblical stories. Mules are the go-to for serious hauling, mountain treks, and anything that involves crossing dangerous terrain without losing your footing or your cool. Their unique blend of strength and common sense makes them ideal for long expeditions and working in national parks, farms, and even military operations. Donkeys are your off-road GPS, and mules are your heavy-duty mountain Sherpa. In high-altitude areas where even trucks struggle, mules keep trucking. No complaints, just horsepower. And let's be honest, if you had to carry 200 pounds uphill for hours, you'd want a mule too. So here's the cheat sheet. Donkey equals 100% donkey. Tough, smart, stubborn, independent. Mule equals horse plus donkey hybrid. Strong, steady, sterile. Donkeys are a species. Mules are a mix. You can ride both, but one comes with a firmware update. Donkeys have stood the test of time as desert warriors, while mules are the carefully engineered muscle cars of the animal kingdom. They're not interchangeable, even though they're both underrated legends of labor. And no, neither of them wants to carry your emotional baggage. Just actual baggage, please. Donkeys are originals with legacy status. Mules are the remix that somehow improved the track. So, what is the difference between donkeys and mules? Donkeys are purebred powerhouses with built-in common sense. Mules are precision-engineered work animals born from a donkey-horse mashup that makes them stronger, calmer, and cooler than either parent. They may look similar on the surface, but under the ears, it's a whole different story. One of species versus hybrid, stubborn versus chill, and ancient beast versus bio-blended badass. Next time you're on a dusty trail and wondering which hoofed friend has your back, now you know exactly who's who in the barnyard. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.